Good morning, Western Washington, and happy Wednesday. I'm Matthew Fab with Western Washington Weather, and today we're going to take a look at the forecast for the next few days as we have a minor heat wave coming up. We're going to warm up quite a bit here into this weekend. We're going to take a look at that here, and we're also going to take a look at the chance of brief rain today. As you can see, we're starting here at the satellite imagery. We've got low clouds across Western Washington this morning, and we're likely going to remain mostly cloudy today. We may have some clearing as we go into this afternoon and evening, and highs may end up reaching about 70 degrees, but it'll be a cloudy and cool morning across the region. You can see we have a few areas of drizzle showing up on the radar there, but not too much overall. We may have a little bit of drizzle at times throughout the day across the metro area and the coast. So taking a look at our overall pattern, you can see we have this really big ridge offshore, not very strong over Western Washington today, allowing some of those clouds to get in here. But as you can see, as we go through Thursday and Friday, this ridge starts to elongate and push eastward. And then take a look as we go into this weekend. You can see that this ridge starts to move inland. And then as we go into Sunday, we have this ridge centered just to our north across Vancouver Island and parts of British Columbia. That allows us to get really, really warm. And obviously, it's still early June, so we are a little bit limited on how warm we can get versus if this was July or something like that. But you can see we have this ridge to our north, and that persists and flattens out a little bit all the way into Monday. That ridge remains over us. And you can see as we go into Monday night into Tuesday, that ridge is starting to flatten out, but it's not going away. And we're still going to remain mostly dry into next week. So taking a look at precipitation type here on the European model, you can see we have some drizzle along the coast this morning that may move into the lowlands a bit as we go into the midday period there, and then you can see that turns more scattered and diminishes as we go into this evening. And then you can see the remainder of this forecast period is just dry across all of the Pacific Northwest. We may get some brief mountain thunderstorms across parts of Oregon, and that doesn't really look to move into Washington, though, into next week. So Washington looks mostly dry after today. Taking a look at precipitation totals here through next Monday, this kind of verifies that. You can see a few hundredths of an inch across parts of the area today, and after that, that's it. And not a drop over eastern Washington. You can see Seattle at 1/100th of an inch of rain. Some areas north don't get anything. So really just a very brief round of drizzle, and that's all our rain for the next week or so. Now taking a look at high temperatures, you can see today we're going to have highs in the upper 60s to low 70s across Western Washington. These could be a few degrees lower if we don't clear out those clouds as quickly as some forecast models show, so we could stay in the mid-60s possibly, and then low 60s on the coast with some upper 50s as well. Now, as we go into Thursday with mostly sunny skies again, that warm-up continues as that ridge starts to build in from the east. You can see highs Seattle northward in the low to mid 70s there. You can see from Seattle southward highs in the mid to upper 70s, maybe a few low 80s in some of the valleys and areas around Olympia. And then from Olympia southward to Portland, highs in the upper 70s to low 80s. And you're looking at the low to mid 60s on the coast there on Thursday. We warm up a little bit more on Friday from Seattle northward highs in the low to mid 70s. Seattle southward highs in the upper 70s to low 80s, including low 80s most likely in some of the valleys around Puyallup and down toward Olympia and Tacoma as well. And then from Olympia southward toward Portland, highs in the upper 70s to low 80s. Again, southwest Washington and Portland, highs on Friday in the mid 80s. And then the coast stays in the low to mid 60s. Take a look at Saturday, though. This is when we really start to warm up. You can see from Seattle northward getting highs in the mid 70s. Mountain valleys up into the 80s. From Seattle southward on Saturday, you can see highs in the low to mid 80s, and you're going to get those warmest temperatures around Tacoma and Olympia. Olympia showing 85 there. You can see 85 in Chehalis and down toward Kelso, and then you can see across parts of Vancouver, Washington, down in Portland there, Clark County especially in the upper 80s, maybe pushing 90 there on Saturday. And you can see on Saturday as well, beautiful day on the coast, highs in the upper 60s to low 70s. Take a look at Sunday, though. This is going to be our hottest day. You can see from Seattle northward highs in the upper 70s to mid 80s. You're going to be warmest away from the water and in some of those mountain valleys that could push 90 degrees. And take a look from Seattle southward there on Sunday. Highs in the upper 80s to low 90s. This could be our first 90-plus day for Seattle. We got a few degrees to go there, but there's a chance we could push 90 degrees in Seattle and definitely in Tacoma and Olympia. And then you can see for parts of southwest Washington like Portland and Vancouver and Kelso there, you're looking at highs in the low to mid 90s, 94 in Portland there on Sunday. And then you can see on the coast highs in the low 70s. So just a beautiful day out there. And also, if you're going to be across eastern Washington, you're looking at highs in the upper 90s to low 100s. You can see 101 in the Tri-Cities, 90 in Spokane, 97 in Wenatchee, 96 in Ellensburg. So it's going to be quite warm across all of Washington on Sunday. And then as we go into Monday, we cool down a little bit. The coast drops down to the mid-60s. Inland, we drop to the mid to upper 70s from Seattle northward, some low 80s away from the water. And then on Monday from Seattle southward, you're looking at highs still quite warm in the low to mid 80s, 85 in Tacoma, 83 in Seattle. And then southward from Olympia, you're looking at highs in the mid 80s and then upper 80s for Southwest Washington and the Portland metro, with highs nearing 90 degrees again in Portland on Monday. They could hit that. As we go into Tuesday, you can see highs continue to cool, but we remain dry. From Seattle northward on next Tuesday, there you're looking at highs in the low to mid 70s and then upper 70s to low 80s from Seattle southward to Portland, and then around Portland highs in the mid 80s. And coast remains in the mid 60s. So overall, just a really nice period coming up. A few pretty hot days. We'll continue watching that over the coming days here, especially those highs on Sunday. You'll see how warm we can get. I wanted to show this again. This is the NOAA high split model backward trajectory. So we're looking at basically where the air over us came from. And you can see here I did 2,000 meters, 5,000 meters, and 10,000 meters. So just a sampling of different levels of the atmosphere. And you can see that these 5,000 and 10,000 meter high trajectories show that our air is coming from over Asia, and that particularly this one here coming from parts of eastern Russia, and that is what's been causing the hazy skies. This is from Siberian wildfire smoke. So Siberia is out here in eastern Russia, and there's a lot of big fires burning in that area right now, and some of that wildfire smoke has taken a few days and has been transported across the Pacific on the jet stream, and that has been causing the hazy skies across parts of Washington. Of course, you've been hearing about the big fires in Alberta, or sorry, not Alberta, in Saskatchewan and Manitoba in Canada, and that's been causing some hazy skies across parts of the central and eastern United States. The skies we are seeing are not influenced by that smoke. It is instead smoke from all the way across the Pacific in Siberia. So just pretty interesting to look at that. As long as we have the same pattern, some of that smoke coming across from Siberia will probably continue, giving us some more nice red sunsets, but not affecting our air quality. Taking a look again at the temperature outlook here as we go June 9th to 13th, so getting into the second week of June next week, you can see pretty good signal for above average temperatures across most of the West. Highest signal for the Intermountain West there, and then a decent signal for the Pacific Northwest as well. And then you can see this below average precipitation signal there, really centered on western Washington and western Oregon. Not exactly what we really want to see at this point, but we are already in drought conditions, so this is not too surprising. We'll continue to watch this kind of thing and the drought monitor as well. That next drought monitor should come out tomorrow, so we should take a look at that in our Friday video. So thank you all very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe here to Western Washington Weather. Follow on Blue Sky, on Twitter, and on the Western Washington Weather Facebook group. The links to all of those are in the description. So thank you all very much for watching, and I will talk to you all later.